Hi, I'm John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy with another Global Real Estate School podcast. Welcome to the podcast. My name is John Mayfield, the real estate tech guy, and this is episode 0. Actually, it's 101. I started to say 099, but I just remembered we actually did our 100th podcast. I have actually done many more podcasts than that, but this is 101 with the intro and outro, and just want to take a quick moment to let you know that I am doing a lot of live streaming at my YouTube channel. And for those of you who subscribe to the podcast, you will notice that occasionally I'm pulling the audio off and trying to put all of those recorded sessions on the podcast as well. They may not have an intro and an outro like we're doing on this specific podcast, but I do want to put those out there because I know many students have told me that they really appreciate listening to those when they're driving back and forth from work, or even I've had a student recently who said he listens to those going back and forth to his real estate course in California. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And if you want to go out and exercise, I was talking to a potential student yesterday who does some cleaning in houses, and I told her, I said, hey, I'm putting all of my material in podcast form. You can listen to those while you are cleaning apartments. And she was like, that is wonderful. So anyway, it's episode 101. But if you have not gone over to our YouTube channel, please do so and subscribe, because I'm doing some really cool things over there. I have some playlists for 5-minute real estate tips. I have some other real estate keyword webinars I'm doing over there. And I have a really cool application I'm using called Switcher Studio, so I can go between my iPad where I'm drawing visually or my whiteboard in my studio in my office, and so much more. So anyway, Global Real Estate School, it's on YouTube. Please go over and check us out there. Well, today I want to do a real estate question, sample question on episode 101. And I'm going to just kind of make this up as we go along throughout this podcast. And the question would be, Mike Smith is a property manager. Mike is going to handle some properties for Larry Dole. Mike's having a challenging property to lease. What type of lease would be the best lease for Mike to use in order to lease this difficult property? Okay, so I'll kind of re-sum this again. You have Mike, who's a property manager. He's trying to lease some property for Larry. We could say it's commercial property. It's a challenging property to lease. It's very difficult because maybe there's a lot of properties out there in the marketplace, but Mike's having some trouble leasing this property. Of the following types of leases that I'm going to read to you, which one would be advantageous for Mike to use to lease the property? Would he want to use a gross lease, a net lease, a percentage lease, or a graduated lease? Gross lease, net lease, percentage lease, or a graduated lease? Well, the correct answer is a graduated lease. Now, why would that be a good lease for a difficult property in a challenging market? Well, remember, a graduated lease starts out low and then graduates up at different intervals to a higher lease rate. And over the long period of time, the numbers all balance out. So graduated lease, it starts out low and then graduates up at different lease intervals. And that could be whatever interval you have in your lease agreement, probably every year, but it could be every 6 months or every 2 years. It's totally negotiable, as all leases are. But do you understand why this type of lease would be advantageous in a challenging or difficult market? Well, it's going to start out at a much lower rate. And so therefore, if it's a challenging property or a difficult market, potential tenants might say, that might be an interesting property because we can get in that property at a much lower rate and we can build our business up, and at some point we'll be able to handle the bigger payments because our business will have grown over time. So if you see a question that asks you what type of lease would be more advantageous for a difficult property or in a challenging market, the correct answer would be a graduated lease. Well, don't forget, go over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We're doing stuff daily, trying to do stuff daily there. I'm still going to be putting those sessions right here on our podcast, and I'll be doing some podcasts like this from time to time, but I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And hey, if you have not subscribed to this podcast, please do so. Please give us a 5-star rating, put some nice comments. I really would appreciate that. And if you need help passing the real estate exam, don't forget globalrealestateschool.com. We have some great resources over there, practice exams, digital flashcards. We're adding new products all the time, so check us out at globalrealestateschool.com. Thank you for listening to the podcast for Global Real Estate School. I'm John Mayfield, the Real Estate Tech Guy. Go out and make it a great day.